Straight Outta Compton was one of the best biopics in recent for music films. I wanted to see how this one is like the next one out of the biopics. See how they hold up, but notice it's its own film. So was Eyes on Me. As good as some other good music biopics. All Eyez on Me is the story of Tupac Shakur, one of the better rappers, best ones just in the game, just a legend, some would say, in that industry. And this is apparently now his story, how it goes on from when he was little to how he became one of the famous men in the rap game industry. The actor they got for this movie was scary beyond belief. Is it a doppelganger? Is it a son? He looks so much like him. Just the way the details are, the way they structure him, like the way they made him with the tattoos look like Tupac. He looks really identical to him. And we've seen other Tupacs in other movies before. Anthony Mackie played him Notorious, and then another actor played him Straight Outta Compton. I thought it was the same guy, but it wasn't. But this is the most accurate one we've received. And I wanted to see how his story would told. See if I learned anything new. Apparently, with the way this movie told me, there's some things I've known already. Other things I did not know. It's just really... It really celebrated the life of Tupac in the way that they knew. They know what they had as their property for this movie. And it looked like, at least for like who he was, it was a great just celebration, especially the music they put in there. It's something that kind of like, for me, I listened to him too. Can't say I'm the biggest fan, but I did like him as growing up as one of the rappers to listen to. Honestly, I have to tell you though, the trailers, when I was looking at the trailers, I wasn't too excited with them. I didn't think they were really good trailers. They looked like some kind of fan-made trailers. So I was hoping that the movie was different. And then when I came into the movie, saw Tupac look so much like him. I was like, spot on. Seeing like the music just being celebrated, just feel like the presence of Tupac was around this filmmaking crew. It felt like it was there. So in my opinion, good job on that. But everything else, really, I was really disappointed. I wanted to love this movie, especially just Tupac. Like I said, one of my favorites up there with like NWA for rap. And I did not enjoy this movie. I really noticed from the start just how bad the editing was with this movie. And it just felt like everything was being crammed. Like how people had issues with Straight Outta Compton in the ending of that movie, getting so much things fit in before the movie ended. I feel like this did it the opposite, and it really did not pay off a lot. It just felt like it was rushed. I would say the second act was better condensed. It was better structure, but still at that time you're like, what's the point? You rushed everything. And I felt like it was just like a greatest hits. We were going through a lot of things, and you could tell with the way the director was, how they were doing the direction here. And the performances, I would say Michonne, her character who plays his mother, was one of the better parts, the outstanding parts, and it shows that she has the most range of acting than the other ones, and she was knocking them out of the park over everyone. And then Tupac was really good at times, and especially because it helps looking like Tupac, but just because it looks like Tupac, I'm not going to give that a pass. I thought sometimes that from him and the rest of the people, I thought like the dialogue sometimes wasn't that good, and we had very kind of like unnecessary repeat of kind of type of dialogue, not type of dialogue would take you places. So some of the interactions felt like, I don't understand it, but I know how the world would probably is being raised depending on what kind of environment you grew up in, but it just felt like it wasn't type of expedition dialogue that would carry me on. So much of the dialogue, at times it was good, but at times I just thought it was really bad. This movie just felt really rushed, and then finally when it cut off, it was like we finally got to the point. We don't have a couple more minutes to kind of wrap up this movie, just get through it. It just didn't feel like a very polished movie. It felt like it was being kind of rushed, and they were trying to cram in so much. And for the film length of the movie, I didn't think it was worth it, especially how bad the editing was. I thought if they would have shortened it down, maybe I would have give it a better pass. I was like, this movie better end up a little bit quicker then, but they did so much, and then they cut off at the ending. I didn't get the pleasure experience of watching this movie as I thought I would. I got a decent amount just because of the music, knowing that this was his life in a way that was entertaining, but as a film overall, I couldn't enjoy it as much. I don't want to compare it to Straight Outta Compton, but seeing how they sprinkle elements from like Notorious, seeing the actor come back from that, and then seeing a little bit of like Dr. Dre just sprinkled in, I just had to say, like, especially if you compare it to that movie, this movie was just a total mess. And I really did wanted to like this movie. I was rooting for and championing for it. I thought it would exceed expectations from the trailer, but just I guess we got what we got from seeing that marketing, and then it did feel like it should have been a TV movie. Just how some of the dramas played out, just felt like it was better for suited for a TV movie rather than the theater. It just couldn't fit well with what type of landscape we were watching this movie. So I'm gonna have to give All Eyes on Me D+. Let me know, guys, what you thought of this movie. Did you like it? And overall, as a celebration of the man, the legend, what is your favorite song from him, rap song? For me, it might be California Love. Just something that gets me going. Just something I connect to emotional standpoint. So let me know this in the comments below. And as always, Roland Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.